Hi everyone, welcome back to the second part of our series on managing hyponatremia. In the previous video, we discussed the approach to hyponatremia. Today, we will see the treatment strategies for this condition. So, let's get started. We will begin with a foundational understanding of fluids and their sodium content. First, we will see how much sodium is there in each 1 liter of different fluids that we know, that we used in common practice. In case of normal saline, we know the 1 liter of normal saline contain 154 milliequivalent of sodium. In case of 3% saline, we can see it is 513 milliequivalent per 1 liter. And in case of ringer lactate, that contain 131 milliequivalent of sodium and 5 milliequivalent of potassium. If you take sodium bicarbonate 7.5%, it contain 893 milliequivalent of sodium. If the sodium bicarbonate concentration is 8.4%, 1 liter of that sodium bicarbonate solution will contain around 1000 milliequivalent of sodium. Always bear in mind that the total body water represents 60% of body weight in males and 50% of body weight in female. It's because of the increased fat content in females compared to males. As we age, or if there is increase in fat accumulation in the body, the total body water tend to take a dip. This is very important concept that you have to know. So next we will deal with an important concept that is Adroghi and Madia's equation. So what is this equation? This equation actually provides a valuable insight into the effect of 1 liter of fluid or effect of loss of 1 liter of fluid. If we are infusing a 1 liter fluid into the system, it will detect the change in plasma sodium concentration. So there is a formula that is called infusate formula if you are adding fluid into blood. So it states that the change in plasma sodium concentration is equal to the infusate sodium plus potassium minus the plasma sodium divided by the total body water plus 1. So effect of 1 liter of fluid into the system causing some changes in the sodium concentration depends on the sodium concentration of that fluid. So exactly, if there is loss of fluid from our body that contain sodium or potassium, that will lead to change in the plasma sodium concentration exactly in same way. So this equation is called a fluid loss formula. So the change in plasma sodium concentration is equal to plasma sodium minus fluid sodium and potassium concentration divided by total body water minus 1. We will see this equation with various examples. To make this clearer, let's look at an example. In a 70 kilogram male with a sodium 126 treated with 1 liter of saline. So what will happen to his plasma sodium concentration? So we know the equation, change in plasma concentration is equal to infusate sodium plus potassium minus the plasma concentration of the patient divided by total body water plus 1. We know that the infusate, that is 1 liter of saline, that contain 154 milliequivalent of sodium in 1 liter. That minus the plasma concentration of the patient is 126 is divided by the total body water plus 1. So in a 70 kg male, we already know the total body water percentage is actually 60%. So if we take the 60% of 70 kilogram, it is equal to 42 kilogram. So the total body water of this patient is 42 liter. So it added by 1. So it is actually equal to the 0.65 milliequivalent change in sodium in this patient. We will see the changes in the plasma concentration in same patient with the same sodium concentration with a different fluid. So if we take the 1 liter of 3% saline, that is this patient is treated with 1 liter of 3% saline, what will happen to the plasma sodium concentration? So again we are applying the same equation. So we know the sodium concentration in 3% saline is 513 milliequivalent. So it's minus 126 divided by 42 plus 1. it is actually 9 milliequivalent. So if you take 1 liter of ringer lactate in same patient, what will happen? We know the sodium concentration is 131 and the potassium concentration is 5 milliequivalent. So it minus 126 divided by 42 plus 1. It is equal to 0.23 milliequivalent. If we consider the patient treated with a 1 liter of 8.4% of sodium bicarbonate, what will happen? So the change in plasma sodium concentration equal to 1000 minus 126 divided by 42 plus 1. That is equal to 20 milliequivalent. So in a same patient with the same plasma concentration, we treated the patient with a different fluid. We can see the difference in plasma sodium change according to each fluid type. We already solved infusate formula in different scenarios. So coming to the fluid loss formula, we know change in plasma sodium concentration equal to plasma sodium minus the amount of sodium and potassium in lost fluid divided by total body water minus 1. So in a man, if we take an example, after administration of furosemide, that is a diuretic, there is loss of sodium and potassium through the urine. So in this patient, the loss is equal to 75 millimole per liter. So the expected change in plasma sodium for each liter of this urine loss equal to the plasma sodium minus urine sodium plus potassium concentration divided by total body water minus 1. This is equal to 126 minus 75, that is a urine sodium and potassium concentration, divided by 42 minus 1. That is equal to 1.24 milliequivalent change. Now we have an idea about Adroghi and Madias equation. It can predict the effect on plasma sodium of either gain or loss of 1 liter of fluid having any sodium or potassium. So there is a weakness for this formula because it does not take kidney into account. If we see an example, in case of hypovolemic hyponatremia, we are treating that patient with a normal saline. So this will expand the plasma volume and that will increase the perfusion to the kidney. So if the perfusion improves, ADH secretion will decreases, so kidney excrete more water rapidly. So this result in rapid sodium correction. So what we can do is, the equation will be more accurate if we replace that ADH by giving desmopressin 2 microgram intravenously every 8 hourly. We can actually correct the equation by correcting ADH. So this is a new approach that is called DDAVP clamp. In this video, we have discussed the sodium content of various fluids, the composition of body water, and Adroghi and Madias equation. In the upcoming segment, we will discuss the management of hyponatremia based on classification and based on recommendation by various societies like ERA. Thank you for tuning into this video and stay tuned for more updates.